Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
RoadToRoot.com. Silver has broken out of the moving averages. As you can tell from this chart, this is the moving averages. I got in here 100-day, 200-day, 50-day doesn't really matter, but this looks like a serious breakout. I'm thinking it's more along the lines of this one up here when it ran and ran and ran. Just the timing. I know they're running out of metal. The U.S. Mint has stopped making Silver Eagles. Still, I checked today, still not making any more Silver Eagles. I contacted my guy, Jack Sermon, the head of Silver Eagle sales with the Mint, through a text. Nothing, no response. He hasn't responded to my last two texts, so maybe he doesn't have good news. Ventress, the last time I talked to him, Ventress was the queen of the hill, because she was making Silver Eagles again. It looks like Ventress has stopped, flat out, without any explanation. Of course they can claim, well, it's the end of the year. We do this every year. You don't start in November, or actually they barely made anything in November. And going to December, the U.S. Mint is broken still, completely disregarding all laws of the United States of America. Not Jack's fault. Jack's a salesman. He needs something to sell. Why they are refusing to sell Silver Eagles to the citizens of the United States as is required by law is beyond comprehension. Treasonous, if you ask me. But there's a hell of a lot more treason going on besides the Silver Eagles not being made to meet demand. So it's kind of like the severity of the law. The law doesn't matter anymore in the United States of America. How severe is the law? I mean, even the most severe laws that we have against abuse against kids are not being withheld. So held up, and nobody's shutting this down. Actually, it's not true. Trump shut down most of it. A lot of it we don't know about. We can't hear about. You're not allowed to talk about it, especially on YouTube. But that goes hand in hand with the silver being released. Talked to Jenny this morning, and she's very excited about silver. We won't have a reading today. We'll go on to next week with Jenny Moonstone. I will be putting out something tomorrow about certain things I've been working on for the private road members at roadtoroot.com. Go over to roadtoroot.com and check it out. What I want to talk today about is where should you be invested? In my opinion, this is not financial advice. This is what I'm doing, and I think there are some amazing opportunities. Not for over the night type of, hey, I made 20% in this trade I did. I'm not like that. I don't do that. I'm long-term hodler. What will be the valuable assets in the future and why? And how undervalued are they today? Which is a key thing. Silver has been price suppressed for 170 years. When silver runs past $30, it's going to go right to 50. And $50 is the number that when it blows by 50, it'll go to 6, 7, 800 and then keep running. At that point in time, the floodgates are open. And it could run very fast after it breaks 30, because 30 in 2001, that was this massive point of contention of the silver squeeze that was going on. J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, Rustin Benham, the head of the CFTC, Jeffrey Christian, Jeff Curry of Goldman Sachs, all of them were freaking out at $30. Why? Because after you blow through $30, there's not much that can happen all the way up to 50, and when it breaks 50, all the game's over for the silver riggers. So since that time, in January, February of 2021, the commercials have really got their silver short holdings down. They absolutely, that was the idea. Okay, we're going to give you a couple years, but we're going to try to hold the price with this lease rigging operation out of J.P. Morgan and Bank of America. But during that time, you better get rid of your shorts because this thing is going to run. That's basically what the whole plan was, along with other things. For example, Rustin Benham and Janet Yellen told the U.S. Mint not to close out its hedges in 2021 because it would have spiked the price over $30. So the U.S. Mint had to take a $112 million hit in 2021 on their hedge book, a year that the price of silver went down. Remember, The idea of hedging is that you aren't subject to the volatility, price volatility, while you hold the metal if you're producing silver coins. Makes sense. That's a business. It's a smart business thing to do. And the U.S. Mint was running their operation kind of pretty much like that the entire time until 2021. When the price of silver went down, that means their hedge position, the short position, should have gone up, and they should have closed them out, but they did not. They did not close out their hedges. They had to book a $112 million loss. Massive, massive loss on a hedge book for a sovereign mint. Shocking, really. And Ventures Gibson comes on their annual report saying how great they are, how they made money. First of all, you're not supposed to make money on your bullion coins. It's against the law. And it's very specific as to what silver eagles are supposed to be sold for in the law. They're supposed to be sold for cost only. That's the only markup you have is cost. There is no profit on bullion coins, as is stated in the law, except they booked $80 million on bullion coin profit last year. So things are broken at the U.S. Mint, badly. I don't think they're going to... Now, the question comes, is there going to be a 2024 Silver Eagle that will be sold to the public? I do not think so. So if you are ordering 2024 Silver Eagles through one of the big silver dealers, do not expect to get it. Expect to get a refund if the banks are still in business. Why do I say this? Mainly because I don't think our financial system is going to be intact at that point, and we are going to shift. They're going to keep making this 2024 Silver Eagles, but we'll shift from a fiat monetary system to a gold and silverback system. In a gold and silverback system, the U.S. Mint will not be selling silver and gold eagles. They will be making silver and gold eagles to distribute to the population as the new money, however that may go. How much chaos does it take for that to happen? It might take a bit. How much chaos can happen if J.P. Morgan goes under along with their $60 trillion in derivatives? That's a single day that everything shuts down. It might not take another 10 years. It won't take another 10 years. So you want to be in the right place at the right time. Silver will blow away any crypto gains, except maybe Veritasium. Veritasium has a shot at, the lottery ticket if the U.S. says, okay, our markets are broken, we have to fix them. Reggie, come help us implement peer-to-peer trading, peer-to-peer transactions on the stock market so that we don't have the Goldman Sachs. No need for Goldman Sachs. No need for high-frequency traders. No need for the bullshit that we've been subjected to. I do think that's happening. I can't give you a time frame on that one. Who knows? That's when after the system crashes and we say, okay, how are we going to move forward? That wasn't Cliff's data. And I always had the hunch that is exactly what was going to happen, especially when they took Reggie down. They took Reggie down. They took all his capital. They basically shut down his business. All the other cryptos were night and day compared to what they did to Reggie Middleton. Why? Because Reggie Middleton had a solution for their criminal system. After they crash, we are going to implement Veritasium. Whether or not the regulators are going to do it, I doubt it. I don't think there'll be regulators there. I mean, it really would have to be a situation where the system, we don't move into a Mad Max world. We're trying to avoid that. But it's also the reason that after taking all of Reggie's tokens, they froze them. There's 98 million of the 100 million that were created, 98 million are frozen by the U.S. government, but Reggie has signature on that multi-sig wallet. So the government can't take it out, Reggie can't take it out unless they agree, and then they can take it out. Reggie has been banned from dealing in cryptocurrencies on any other, so he couldn't just, a lot of people say, why didn't he just start a new token? They banned him from that too. So, yeah, who knows where that's going to go. That's why I think that might be the only crypto that would explode high enough to beat what silver's about to do as far as price gain. And all you crypto people who love those, oh my God, I got into Theta when it was 4 cents and stuff like that. Silver's going to blow that stuff away when it's freely traded. And it's a great sign that it's over the moving averages. So the next stop is going to be 30 again if this holds for the next couple of days, it'll be 30, and then if that falls, if 30 falls, it's right to 50. And 50 is that magic number. 1980, 2011, that was the all-time high of both those. If it breaks through $50 an ounce, it is free sailing for the price of silver. I think instantly it goes $400 or $500, and then hopefully we'll find out what true fair market value is somewhere down the line. I don't look at price. I look at the gold-silver ratio. Right now it's over 80 to 1, which is ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, I think gold will run up quite a bit. Maybe double or triple. But silver has a lot more to make up than that. 170 years of price suppression in silver. Gold's kind of freely traded, kind of not. Remember who has all the gold. It's the bankers have all the gold. Remember who has all the silver. Nobody knows. The people, we the people, have a lot of silver. And when the banks crash, they're going to have to sell all their liquid assets. They're going to sell all their Bitcoin. They're going to sell all their gold because they're insolvent. That's what they have to do. But they don't own any silver as far as I know. JP Morgan did. It stole 1.2 billion ounces of silver, 10 times what the Hunt brothers were supposedly cornering the market in 1980. And that's when Trump came down and busted JP Morgan for silver market manipulation. And part of the settlement, although it wasn't talked about, is that they disgorged their gains from the manipulation, from the criminal manipulation. That's why they had to lease all that silver, 1.2 billion ounces of silver, to Bank of America through a structured deal. And we don't know who has that silver. Now, I believe it's probably the U.S. Mint, making silver eagles for we the people as we transition out of the old system into the new. That's why I'm saying I'm not so sure that the U.S. Mint will be selling the 2024 silver eagles. So I recommend not getting on putting money down and buying the future 2024s. And this goes for the dealers as well, the authorized dealers of the mint who literally have to put their money down and wait a couple months. I'm not so sure that it's going to show up. Anyway, yeah, I do think silver is the number one asset to be in. Clearly, it looks like it's breaking out of those moving averages. We need some run through because sometimes it'll go up and come down. But yeah, it's looking good. Again, be on the sidelines, in a lawn chair. Don't worry about price. If price goes to negative 40 like they did with oil, and you have your silver in your own possession, you don't care. Yeah, it's hard to stomach, but you sit there in your armchair, your lawn chair, and you say, hey, I know this is a game. I know price is a game. And they want you to be emotional. They want you. That's why they have to stop silver from rising. Everybody will emotionally get into it. FOMO into silver. And they're going to find there is no silver at any price at some point down the line, not too far away. All right. So I hope everybody knows why I invest in silver, why I recommend silver. Not financial advice. As far as cryptos, I think the best crypto for transactions is Litecoin. Litecoin is the little brother of Bitcoin. I even wrote a song. Litecoin is the right coin as a means of exchange. If we do need a means of exchange, Litecoin will be one of the top picks. Bitcoin will not be. I keep trying to tell people Bitcoin has been taken over by the digital currency group and those guys and the deep state and all that. I'm not saying it won't do well. Of course it will do well. Other than, oh, by the way, if the banks go down, they got to sell all their Litecoin. If BlackRock goes down, all their Bitcoin. BlackRock goes down, it's got to sell all its Bitcoin for this new ETF that it's been hoarding. They orchestrated the crash, got enough for the ETF to orchestrate crashes without using real Bitcoin. But Litecoin is not held all around. As a matter of fact, Litecoin was created by Charlie Lee back in the day. Charlie sold all his Litecoin very publicly back in 2000. Well, shit, must have been 18, I think. Not sure when it was. It was a big announcement. Why did he sell all his Litecoin? Because he knew you can't have any kind of centralization if you're going to use a cryptocurrency as currency. So And Litecoin was created the correct way. Charlie didn't have an advantage. He told everybody when it's coming out, everybody could mine it, everybody had the same chance of getting Litecoin from the very beginning. And it's the only blockchain. Bitcoin went down for a while. The Bitcoin blockchain went down for a while in the beginning. Litecoin has never gone down. The approval functions. But the biggest thing why I'm buying Litecoin right now, and I think it's a good time to buy, is the Litecoin to Bitcoin ratio. Just like the gold and silver ratio, except on steroids. Litecoin is trading at more than 500 to 1 with Bitcoin. And remember, it was created at 4 to 1. So I think Litecoin really has a long way to go, especially if we're going to be using cryptos as currency because the old system fails. So during that collapse and during the reboot of the system, I think Litecoin will do much better than Bitcoin because it's more useful. So that's my take, though. My number one crypto for the future is obviously Theta. If you like the internet, Theta is required for the internet. Broadband, we don't have enough money to build out broadband. Theta assists in that. It shares broadband at the toughest spot of broadband, the necessity of broadband, which is the last mile. They call it the last mile problem. It's like you get your Netflix, you get all your movies loaded into a content delivery network, and they, within a city, will spread it out to each individual. You download this movie, it's got to come from a local content delivery network. That's what Theta has solved. Literally solved the problem, but it hasn't been fully implemented. It can be fully implemented overnight by computer manufacturers, by Samsung on their smart TVs, by Sony. The Theta network, part of it, the original part of it, is a download. It's a software download. But they also have developed Theta since it was, a lot of the stuff that's come on in Theta, like the really big things like subchains, so Amazon can build their own blockchain on the Theta network. It's approved by the Theta process of validators and guardians, which is, I don't know a better way to approve transactions, but it can be approved by that network, but still be an Amazon blockchain with Amazon tokens, because you can't approve your own transactions for your own coins. No one would trust them. So they built that capability into the Theta blockchain. You can create subchains now. And then there's all this edge computing. It just blows the mind. Everybody knows the cloud computing or cloud storage and all that. It can be done on the Theta network with the edge nodes. But again, all this isn't going to be fully implemented until the downloads are made. And they're going to be made sometime in the future. How many billions of smart TVs are out there right now? Would that be a secure network? Holy crap. Would that spread the broadband, expand broadband greatly if all the computer manufacturers, all the smart TV people, all the Elon Musk in the car, you can run a Theta edge node in a Tesla. For the Internet of Things, it's amazing. The invention is off the charts, unbelievable. And patented, by the way, many patents. So yes, Theta is my number one pick for the future. I'm not saying I have no idea what it's going to do short term. It's been going up. Yeah, it's gone up, 40% or something. It's nothing compared to what is coming. And it might be an after the crash type of download. So I don't know what Theta is going to do in the meantime. But I know how important it is for our future. If you believe in Web 3, I'm reading a book on Web 3 right now. It's the implementation of blockchain into everything, decentralize everything, because we're going to lose trust in a blink of an eye when all this shit falls apart. When the monetary system falls apart, you will not trust the U.S. Treasury. You will not trust the Federal Reserve System. You will not trust the IMF, the World Bank. We already don't trust them. But there will be no trust left. And nobody with the moral fortitude who we trust to take their place. We don't trust anybody anymore. So we are moving to a trustless system. And if everything is trustless, that's what Web3 is. It's blockchain based. And most of the tech guys know it's coming. And Theta, I would say, is positioned to absolutely explode, being the railroad tracks of Web3, in my opinion. And I do think there was a reason that Theta used the same coding language as Ethereum. I don't trust Ethereum anymore. But Theta has, anything that happens on Ethereum can also happen on Theta. And Theta doesn't like to say that. Doesn't like to say it's, because we've heard it before. EOS, for example, was the new Ethereum. I was never a fan of EOS just because of the people involved in it, and it turned out to be the right call again. But look at the difference in the ICOs, the initial coin offerings between Reggie Middleton. I think he raised $11 million in his ICO, and then the government took that and more from Reggie when they came down on him, and then he got EOS that made what, $5 billion in their ICO over the years, something like that, and they had to pay like a $20 million fine. That's insane. But it's also how the deep state functions. So yeah, there was a lot of. That's why EOS never worked. It was the people. It was always the people. Not a fan of the people. Theta Fuel is going to be massive in the subchain world because every transaction needs to use some Theta Fuel. So yeah, another situation. It's like 20 to 1 now, 22 to 1, I think. I think at some point to Theta. I think at some point it'll come down a little bit, 15 or 10. I think it was created at 7. Is that right? I don't know. Or 10. No, it was created at 10. But yeah, I think Theta Fuel will be very, very, very much in demand. For the same reason that Theta is. It's an amazing network. And then, of course, we have Veritasium. Lots of interviews with Reggie lately about what the government has done to Veritasium, what's going on with his patent. The patent office not only approved his patent, but recently in his lawsuit against Coinbase, they reaffirmed it because Coinbase tried to have Reggie's lawsuit thrown out or the patent disqualified, and the patent office said, no, you have no case, Coinbase. You have no case against the Reggie Middleton patent. You violated it. They didn't say you violated it. They said, we're not even going to hear the case because you won't win. None of your arguments held water at all. So they're dropped. Reggie had some problem. His lawyer died. Don't know anything about that. He doesn't want to talk about that. It's disrespectful to the family. It's very difficult when important people die and you don't know, especially with our world, was it natural causes? It doesn't matter to me. But Reggie dropped his lawsuit against Coinbase, and now will they come to negotiate, or will Reggie just lay a cease and desist on Coinbase? And you might be saying, what do you mean? How can he cease and desist? Because they violated his patent. The patent office just said so. So what happens next? You either sue him or you negotiate. You negotiate with Coinbase. That's what Reggie wants to do. He'd rather negotiate with everybody and get back to where we were. Had the patent office approved the Reggie patent, the SEC not gone after Reggie, everybody would be working with Reggie to implement their brand new DeFi stuff. But that's not what happened. Regulators got in the way and destroyed what was going to be one of the most amazing inventions in financial history. Peer-to-peer transactions. So yes, I am a proud holder of Veritasium tokens. I've given away a lot to Road to Ruta members. That we will have another Veritasium giveaway, I believe. But yeah, where can you get your Veritasium? Everybody asks that. Where can you get Veritasium? Pretty much the only place you can get it is Mercatox. Mercatox, it's a sketchy exchange, and there's not a lot of them. And you can't go in there with $10,000 and buy $10,000. You have to go in with crypto. It's crypto to crypto. So it only trades in Bitcoin and Ethereum swaps. But you can't go in there with $10,000 on Ethereum and expect the price to be right now $23 and get $23 for all your purchases. No, it would jump to 50. It is so illiquid. It is hard to get these tokens, especially in quantities that, and you'll understand that once, especially if the U.S. government does come to Reggie Middleton, and all of a sudden, Veritasium will go from $23 to $23,000 in a blink of an eye, because his patent at that point would have been proven to be, he did invent DeFi. He did invent NFTs. There's all kinds of things that Reggie's patent covered. And most of these things came up after Reggie filed the patent, and the U.S. government the SEC came down on Reggie bigger than anybody in the crypto space to ruin his reputation. So nobody took his patent seriously because of what the SEC did, completely criminally, with probably the instigation of the Digital Currency Group, by the way. And I don't think the Digital Currency Group is in Theta either. Digital Currency Group that's some dark shit there, if you ask me. Anyway, that's where we are. A lot of people asking about where do I get Theta. There are certain ways you can get it. If you're new to crypto, just go through a broker. Caleb and Brown is the one we recommend. If you go to roadtoruta.com, right here, the affiliates, click on the affiliates page, and you will see all our affiliates. Down here is Caleb and Brown. Click on that, and you'll get the contact information. Also, 30% off on all your transaction fees. So go check that out, roadtoruta.com. Again, those are my, I think, the best places to be. Everybody has their own thing, though. Some of these, like Litecoin, I don't think it's going to be a short-term winner. I think at some point, when we need cryptos as a currency, Litecoin will be shining and move from 525 to 1 to Bitcoin to probably back to 4 to 1, where it should be, is my take. But we'll find out, right? Anyway, crazy days, crazy time. Hang in there. Stay tough. I will be posting a couple private road discussions later, either tomorrow or Saturday. Good stuff for all you private road members. If you want to join the private road, click on subscribe today and go to roadtoruta.com. Subscribe today, and we'll send you one of these coins, the coolest coin. It's a collector's item, my friends. The Ruta Lives coin, hand painted. Here's some more info on it. I'll talk to you later.